I am blown away, blown away, blown away. I cannot believe that Apple just announced a $600 MacBook. The MacBook Neo is real. It is the one. It is the one to rule them all, as I believe they say in the Matrix movies. Or maybe that was Lord of the Rings. But anyway, yes, Apple just announced a $600 MacBook, and it has blown away my expectations about what they would announce. Because I, for one, did not predict that Apple would release a MacBook at this low of a price point for the specs and value that they provide it with it. It looks to me like it is going to be maybe the best deal in laptop computing. And one could argue, because laptops are more, popular than desktops, maybe the best deal in the entire computing industry right now. So let me go over what the MacBook Neo is, why I'm so blown away by it, and kind of tell you how this changes like Apple's strategy here. So basically what the MacBook Neo is it is a low-cost MacBook. And one of the things I wanted for this product was for it to have its own unique identity. I thought if Apple just made like a, reduced cost version of the MacBook Air that looked exactly the same, and they just put like an A18 Pro chip and, put less storage in it and lowered the price, that would be a pretty boring product. If they use, one of their past designs for this MacBook, that would be a pretty boring product too. But no, they gave it its own unique identity. It has a 13-inch display. The form factor is a little bit thicker than the MacBook Air, but it comes in like these bright, vibrant colors. So it comes in citrus, blush, which is like a pink color, indigo, which looks very similar to like the midnight MacBook Air. So I guess maybe that's a little boring, and silver. But then the cool thing about these designs is they all have color match keyboards. So if you get like the yellow one, it's gonna have like a yellowish keyboard. If you get the silver one, it comes with like a white keyboard, which is something that I thought that they should do on this MacBook to make it look different, to kind of make it look like the iMac that currently exists. I actually wanted this thing to have white bezels. It doesn't have white bezels, but you can't win them all, right? But yeah, they gave this its own unique identity. In terms of other design aspects of it, it has like 2 USB-C ports. Doesn't seem like there's a MagSafe charging port, so I guess that's one of the areas where they reduce costs. Still has a headphone jack. And then has a 1080p webcam, which is good, right? The keyboard seems to be the same as the other Magic Keyboards. The trackpad may be a little bit different. The way Apple's describing it, it doesn't sound like a haptic trackpad, so it may be one of like their older trackpad designs that had like a physical moving trackpad. Not the biggest deal in the world. And then really the major cost saving area still for this laptop seems to be with like the specs. So it is an A18 Pro chip. And the thing that worries me a little bit about the A18 Pro isn't necessarily the power of that chip, because on paper, that is more powerful than an M1 chip. And as many of you know, the M1 is still more than enough power for most users, but it's the memory. The A18 Pro only comes with 8 gigabytes of memory, and with macOS Tahoe, 8 gigabytes of memory. It's gonna be interesting to see how that holds up. That's like the biggest unknown for me, is how this chip will handle current workflows within macOS Tahoe. But other than that, one of the areas where I really thought they would kind of like get us with this is with storage. And the base model has 256 gigabytes of storage. Now, yes, I'll be the first to say 256 gigabytes in 2026 is not like the most on a laptop. But when there was rumors about this product, I thought, okay, this thing's gonna come with like 128 gigabytes of storage. So even at the $600 price point to come with 256 gigabytes, and then if you spend $100 more, you get 512 gigabytes for $700, which is actually like the rumored price that this product was going to come at, like $699. That was like the one that everyone was expecting the price point for this laptop to be at. I think that's like a really good value. Another weird thing with the base model though is that if you do get the base model, it doesn't have Touch ID in the keyboard. So that is a weird thing. Like, I don't know how expensive it is to put Touch ID in a laptop, but yeah, that is an omission on the base model. Me personally, I am so used to Face ID and Touch ID, I can't see going back to a computer that doesn't have a way to quickly unlock it or authenticate things and type in your password all the time. So I would probably say spend the extra $100, get double the storage, get Touch ID, still $700, still probably a really good value for this computer. And yeah, There's a lot of unknowns about how this will perform, how the speakers will sound, maybe some other weird concessions we don't know about yet. But on paper, looking at it, going quickly through the tech specs and everything, this computer just looks like such a good value. This is the computer that I wanted Apple to release, and in a lot of ways, they have blown away my expectations about how they were going to price this, how they were going to put out the storage on like these models and everything, what features they were going to put into it, giving it its own unique design. Like, this is, I think, the best possible case or scenario we could have had for this MacBook Neo. I even like the name, right? Like MacBook Neo. It's a cool sounding name. So this is a cool looking computer. I almost wish that you could spec it higher so I could just carry around like a colorful, bright, yellow MacBook around with me everywhere I go. And maybe I will. Maybe I'll find some like uses, like if I'm writing scripts, maybe I'll just bring along the MacBook Neo because it's such a cool looking product to me. But yeah, I am super excited to test this product out. Again, there's a lot of unknowns with it. Would you be interested in a video of me going over like the specs of this versus like the M5 MacBook Air that they just announced, kind of maybe showing you what you're missing out on by picking this? Like maybe that would be an interesting video. I think I'll try and do that to the best of my ability with what I know, because I think that would be helpful for people trying to decide to pre-order this right now, because you can pre-order it right now. But yeah, if you can't tell, I am excited. I am really happy that Apple finally has a budget option for a computer. I've told this story many times on the channel, but when I went to school, I really desperately wanted a MacBook, and I just couldn't afford it. My family couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford it. And I had to go with like a Windows laptop, even though like our home computer was like this old iMac that I knew how to use. And if they had this MacBook Neo when I was going to school, this was a product that I would have purchased over like a really cheap, low-cost plastic Windows laptop. Like, this thing is still made from aluminum. It still looks like it has a premium build quality. And by the way, I didn't even mention this. If you are in school, or if you're in like, if you can use the education store, the price goes down by $100. So this is a $500 laptop for the education market. A $500 MacBook. You can go on Apple's website, you can order a $500 laptop from them. Those are words I did not expect to be saying today. I did not expect to tell you that you could buy a $600 MacBook from Apple. And I did not expect to be telling you that, yes, you can go to apple.com and you can buy a $500 aluminum MacBook. Like, I don't know how much market share this steals from Windows, but man, if this is the moment for Apple to make like a significant dent in Windows laptop sales, regain get like the most Mac market share in their entire history, this is the moment. Because on paper, this product doesn't look like it sucks. Like, this looks like a really good value. And at this point, all I can say is I'm really excited to try one out. So if you're excited too, you want to see how this MacBook Neo performs, especially against like other products like the MacBook Air, make sure you're subscribed. If you like this video, give me a like. And as always, thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think about the MacBook Neo? Is it better than you were expecting? Is it worse than you were expecting? If it's worse than you were expecting, you got high expectations, but that's good for you. You keep it up. You keep those expectations high. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll hopefully catch you in the next one where we talk more about the MacBook Neo probably.